How many times do you find yourself helping someone to understand today's technology? Being on the edge of the latest and greatest technical advances is nothing new for young people. For instance, in the early 1920s, when broadcast radio was just starting, if you couldn't afford a radio, you could make one. Kids your age took advantage of this and built their own crystal radios.
This is a crystal radio of the sort that a young person might have built in the 1920s. It's using commercial parts. You could mail order, or you could even go to the 5 and 10 cent store and buy radio parts. We have our tuned circuit here. We have our crystal detector here. We have clips here that allow you to connect the headphones. Those are called Thanastock clips. And you'll notice the detector has thumb screws on it. So all of this wiring could be done just with a screwdriver. You didn't have to solder, which was a good thing. Most people didn't have soldering irons, and there might not have been electricity in your house to heat one up. So a lot of the homebrew things came with Thanastock clips and thumb screws, so you could easily construct a radio out of them.
The concept of the crystal detector radio began with Greenleaf Whittier Pickard, an electrical engineer who studied at Harvard University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Pickard used his high-powered educational training while sorting through thousands of rocks. No fooling, he really did. Pickard was looking for the type of rock that could detect radio signals. What he discovered is that metallic sulfite rocks are the most sensitive.
Here are some common detector minerals. Here we have one called iron pyrite, so-called fool's gold. We have here bornite and galena. Now, all of those are metallic sulfides. It's iron sulfide, copper sulfide, lead sulfide. The galena makes the most sensitive detector, and usually a little piece of that is mounted in some melted metal, and that's what you put in your crystal set, and then tickle the crystal with your cat's whisker.
Now, the cat's whisker has nothing to do with a cat. Shoo! Get away! It is simply a very thin, stiff, highly sensitive piece of wire that can transmit a radio signal. The wire is twisted or bent, giving it a springy quality, which helps when finding the most sensitive spot on the crystal. Once the cat's whisker makes a good connection, you can tune the radio.
Basically, you have a tuned circuit. In this case, it's a device called a variometer, which is two coils inside each other, and according to the angle, it changes. Tuned to the loudest spot.
Performance of a crystal radio depends greatly on the location of the station's transmitter.
All the energy that gets to your eardrum came from the transmitter, so that can be a problem if the transmitter is far away, but it's a whole bunch better than no radio.
Imagine yourself being around during the 1920s, and the hottest thing happening is radio. You don't have the money to buy one, but being young, you embrace the new technology and build your own. This is not much different than what you do today, when you share your technological know-how with others. New technology and young people are simply made for each other.